All right, last item here. This I just think is hilarious. I am a Warren Buffett fan.
I've
He
seen you
is
post this. I actually
a
love this.
legend. This is a letter from a pastor writing to Warren Buffett asking for a signature. He actually asked for a signed photo.
So
And
cool.
it begs the question, what does a pastor need with Warren Buffett's signature? Maybe he was trying to raise some money, I don't know. But Buffett replied, don't have a photograph, but here's a signature, and then gave it a nice Warren E. Buffett. Really, you
That's
could
so
tell,
cool.
you could tell he tried to give him a 10. And that is that from, it's either,
So
actually,
cool.
I don't know which it is. It's either from the year 2000 or 2008, because the number is kind of unclear. I think it's 2000, but there you go. That's my final in the final five
I
on this
love it.
one.
And I think it's great, right? Like I'm a huge fan of pop culture memorabilia. I think it's very undervalued. I think, everybody's looked at sports all these years, but when you look at musicians, people like Warren Buffett, they're arguably as, if not oftentimes more famous than a lot of these athletes. And also it's rarer to get these items because sports, like it's a business in sports and these other sectors, it's not there. And there's just so many cool pieces that tell stories like that. And the story behind it makes it that much cooler. So man, you crushed it with that
Yeah,
Buster.
it's so funny. Like with athletes, they let's take LeBron James, right? Plays at least 82 games a year. Is at least 82 games a year
Yeah.
for 23 years plus preseason, postseason, Olympics, camps, Nike events, other sponsor events, his own company events. I mean, that is thousands of times where LeBron signed things for fans, did things. He has his own upper deck deals and fanatics deals, and you know, those signatures and pieces are incredible. But what I would really want are game worn LeBrons, the things that are one of one from iconic events, the
I agree.
jackets, or the guys who were not at thousands of events. Warren Buffett is not out here shaking hands with everybody. Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates and Rockefeller and Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg and these iconic figures that are so one of one as opposed to some athletes which are one of 30.
Yeah. And I think what's interesting with that too, you look at historically, you look at art, you look at collectibles, the value is based on provenance because these guys aren't signing officially, right? Like there's not an MLB witness-based program that's watching them sign that, and there's that authentication. You can send it for like letters of opinion and those things, and there's some PSA obviously does a great job, but like there's just not only not as many out there. The provenance is so tough on a lot of these things. So the few things that pass that smell test and get through the top one, I think are going to be even wildly more valuable just because of the, again, supply and demand. There's not much supply. There's a ton of autograph. Any player, LeBron. If you want a LeBron auto, you can find. He's probably signed 1 million autographs in his life. Same with Jordan,
Sure.
right? It's like they're out there. Warren Buffett, and especially getting one that's legit and validated, like. I guarantee you the pop report, if they had one, is so low.
Yeah, those one of one, but then it's so interesting because you look at people like Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Kobe, like the goats of basketball, for example. Their best items are so incredible. Like, oh my God. I mean, a Jordan jersey sold for 10 million. There's a Jordan jersey out there that Michael owns that I think is worth $250 million.
Which jersey?
Game 6, 98.
Wow, that's wild. Hey, Mike, you
Mike,
gotta,
Michael owns it. I know he owns it.
that's great.
I don't know if he'll ever sell it, but I think that is on par with the Da Vinci. I think it's right there, if not better.
I agree. I think, like, especially for this generation, like, we didn't grow up idolizing Picasso and stuff. We didn't, like, we know the value and it's there, and I don't want to do those things. But, like, for me, from an eye appeal standpoint, not from investment, not taking into that stuff, I'd rather have something that I can relate to and tell a story and that, like, is much more historic to the average person. Game 6 of the 98 finals and the shot is far cooler than some painting on a wall from somebody that you've just heard of because it's valuable for the sake of being valuable. Not to take anything away. Like I love art and do those things, but I just think like when you compare them, I think there's so much room for growth in this category, which is why we're all here. And it's fun. It's a lot funner too, right?
It's so much fun. It's like, and the last thing I'll say here is like, if I couldn't sell a Picasso and I couldn't sell this, I would rather own this because it is my childhood. And for you, that's something else. For someone else, that's something else. But it just, exactly.